where you been and where you going. This is Ari's travel show, yeah. We're gonna talk about travel today. It's You Be Trippin, yeah.
Okay, hello. Welcome to You Be Trippin, the world's only travel podcast. Today I'm here with my friend Dragos.
How's it going, guys? Good to be here.
Yeah, we did a great show yesterday in Cluj-Napoca.
Cluj-Napoca, Romania. That's where we're at the moment. You can see behind us, there's the number one landmark here, Cluj-Napoca.
Is that the number one landmark?
I would think so, yeah. That's the number one. It's celebrating history. I'm pretty sure that's what
Who
it
is. Who is that guy?
I'm pretty sure that's, I think it's Mateusz Matei. It's, I thought it was Ștefan cel Mare, but it's not. It seems like it's Matei of some sorts. I'm pretty sure he was one of the warlords that kind of helped found this area of Romania.
Dude, I love a fucking warlord origin story.
That's what it is. My name's actually based on a warlord. It's a lot of
Whose is yours?
It's used to be like the voivode of Moldova, one of the warlords of Moldova, the region we're in at the moment.
Yeah.
He used to kill people, get a point across. Get his point across.
Yeah. Wonder if that gypsy lady's gonna take
this is what I was looking
shit.
at. I think she's
You
kind
gotta
of
always be able to look at it. I think she just got it with the rain.
We left like all our stuff like that. Cluj is a very safe city. I'm just gonna come out and say that it's a very safe city. Nothing bad's gonna happen. But you just gotta exercise caution wherever you go. Right?
The beggars here are a different thing. Like in San Francisco, it used to be like hipsters who were beggars, and in New York, it's like heroin addicts. And then here it's the gypsies. They're like another thing.
The Roma community, as we like to call them back here in Romania. It's a whole different story. I think we got to do a whole podcast about that.
Yeah, exactly. Okay, so we're gonna do this as a backdrop. We can't. Let's go sit in there. We'll do it at a cafe. You can order for us in Romania.
We've got a rainy day here in Cluj at the moment.
Yeah,
so.
would have been a perfect fucking backdrop.
Yeah, I mean, yesterday was a lot better, but it is what it is. You got to take what Christian Orthodox Jesus gives you.
Yeah. Okay. So where are we going today? What's the story?
It's very fun. I'm gonna tell you guys a little bit more. Let me get there.
I'll set this up.
We gotta order coffee before we can we can just bum the place.
Yeah.
Let's try a Romanian. What do you? So what would you like to get? Let's see if we can get across.
If I can try it?
No, you tell me when you want a coffee. And
maybe just a cappuccino with oat milk.
Okay, so if you want to get that, you'd have to say un cappuccino cu lapte de ovăz, te rog frumos. Can you get that in? I said that right. That's correct, huh? Okay.
Un cappuccino cu lapte
de ovăz.
De ovăz.
Ovăz.
Yeah.
Te rog
ovăz. That's ovăz. Okay. That's oat.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's like Spanish.
Yeah, un cappuccino cu un lapte de ovăz, te rog frumos. That's please.
Okay.
We gotta add a little bit of politeness to the discourse here in Romania, right?
Yeah. Oh yeah. Stop. Okay. And you want to try that eggplant thing?
Yeah, and then și o salată de vinete. Yeah. You okay? Mersi frumos.
Mulțumesc.
There you go. You got that mulțumesc down. Yes, Ari.
Ari,
the Romanian blood.
Yeah.
The Romanian
it's coming out.
It's just resonating.
So, Dragos, tell us where you want to make sure.
Is that good?
No.
You want me to jump on there?
No, you're good.
Alrighty.
Where are we going?
Well,
tell me where you're going to tell me about.
I used to live in Japan for 3 years.
Yeah. Oh wow.
That was a pretty
3 years.
3 years. It's a wild time. I went there in the end of 2012. I don't know if you remember. 2012 was supposed to be the end of the world.
Yep, Mayan.
Yep, I was big on the end of the world, and I was like, if it's going out, I'm going out to Japan.
Yeah.
That wasn't the reason, but I relocated to Japan. I finished my studies. I was studying.
Wait, really? That's why you went?
Yeah, I went there for 3 years.
No, you didn't go there because of the Mayans.
No, I didn't go because of the Mayans.
Okay,
But I'd like to think that I was kind of keeping an eye on the thing.
Yeah.
And there was a little part of me was like,
rooting for it, right?
Yeah, I'm rooting for it. Yeah, exactly. I was like, I do hope it comes and it gets me in Japan, because that would be like a nice bow tie to the whole life story,
Mm-hmm.
So I ended up going to Japan. I worked there for 3 years.
What'd you do?
I was working in recruitment, which sounds like
a basic job.
Yeah, because the thing is, I didn't speak any Japanese. So then, I wanted to, at that time, my girlfriend was Japanese as well. She had to go back, and I had figured, let me just go check out the country, and see what happens. And I got there, and didn't speak any Japanese, but turns out that if you only spoke English and you had a bit of grit, basically, if you could handle cold calling,
yeah,
it's very.
Wait, you did it in English?
I did it in English, yeah. So I was recruiting. Basically for banks. I was recruiting different kinds of professional for banks, like international banks, like your JP Morgans, Goldman Sachs, for like an outside agency. And all of this work was done in English because you got to call people while Japanese people that have never changed jobs in their life.
Yeah.
You got to call them while they are at work and convince them to change their job. And this is Japanese people doing it more and more now, but at that time it was considered very rude.
Yeah, I bet.
It's very rude to call somebody while they're at work.
And also to be like, hey, your life's not really going well.
Yeah.
Here's what you should do instead.
And then
hey, I'm a stranger.
Yeah, and then what would happen is like if you're a foreigner, you're already rude. You know.
Do they not like foreigners?
Japan has changed quite a lot, but
Japan is, true or false, the number one Asians.
Number one Asians, I would say so. Yeah.
In their minds, for sure, right?
I think in their minds, undoubtedly.
Yeah.
There's definitely.
It's so funny. You can't really talk about the hierarchy, but if you ask them about the hierarchy, they will tell you, unless they're in the lower half.
I got a lot of Asian friends who will clarify that.
Break it down exactly.
They'll be like, let me tell you how it's gone, how it looks like. But I was there for about 3 years, and I was living in Tokyo.
Yeah.
I was living in.
Keep going. Yeah.
It's the station where I was staying is Morishita. Is the station where I was staying. I picked up a little bit of Japanese while I was there, but not
Did you really?
extensively. Yeah. Just like it's called like izakaya Japanese, and izakaya is like the place where you go and drink with your friends, right? So it's just like a little bit of, enough to speak to drunk Japanese people. So I was staying at Morishita Station, somewhere in the east of Tokyo.
Yeah.
And as a point of reference, it's 2 stations away from Ryogoku, and Ryogoku is the sumo arenas.
Did you go to those?
I did not go to the sumo arenas because I couldn't find fucking tickets all the time, and then sometimes you're there.
3 years you never went.
That
seems like the number one thing I would do.
I regret it to this day.
Yeah. Okay.
But I would always see.
You're like, I'm not proud of it, Ari.
I would always see sumo players on bikes around my house.
Like they can get around on bikes?
Yeah.
Are they like wobbling down the middle?
This is what I'm saying. Like it looks very, very funny.
Yeah, it's like Bert Kreischer on a bike.
you got a big sumo guy on a bike, and they're going to the groceries, right? Because they live in that area.
Yeah.
And it was always I was sitting around the place, and I would always kind of like have a bit of a chuckle. Look at this. Look at this bear.
Just a fat fuck on a bike.
yeah.
Like wobbling down in the middle.
Very honorable fat fuck.
Are they revered there?
They are. Yeah. I mean, they're like the sport is like it's like.
Were you there when the American? That was before you. When the American came in and started dominating.
I'm not sure exactly. When I was watching it, there were a couple of American guys because there was a big, it was a big thing where you could watch it on TV, and there was a couple of American guys. There was a couple of, I think, guys from Azerbaijan as well.
I remember that some American guy came in and he was like had a real respect for like the history of sumo and everything, but there, honestly, now it's almost exactly like a trans issue.
Right.
People are like, that's not right. They're not like us.
It's. Doesn't look okay.
Yeah.
You gotta, this seems like a Japanese thing,
Yeah.
I'm happy they're welcoming everybody and stuff, but like, it doesn't look as fun.
Yeah. Did you make friends there? Did you like locals?
Yeah, I had a couple of. So basically, because I was in the company I was working for was actually British, so they would hire foreigners and also Japanese. So I had a good mix of friends that are like Japanese locals. Tokyo is it's a massive city, right?
Yeah.
So you'll get a lot of diversity in terms of you'll get a lot of Japanese educated in the U.S. that come back and they work for the bank.
Oh, cool.
You'll get a lot of Japanese that go to international schools in Tokyo, right?
Yeah.
And so it's a quite range of people. And then you have Japanese people that moved over from like different parts of Japan, the inaka, as they call it in Japan, like that would kind of like be like the villages. But it's not the villages, just like the rural areas. And they would move over, and you kind of get a bit of a look into the society, right? But because I was working very closely with bankers, and I also had a couple of friends that were there, it would be very interesting because I got to see a couple of parts of Japan that normally I think you would not be exposed to, right? That's so cool. I led, for 3 years, I was like a Japanese salaryman.
Salaryman?
You know the salaryman concept?
No.
It's like these guys that have a suit. They got their little suit, their little like bag. And they get on the trains in the morning. They do the commute.
Yeah.
And they like exchange. And they go into like a beehive,
Yeah, and then they shoot themselves when they're fucking 62.
Yeah, well, they prefer jumping in front of trains. It's not a gun country.
Really? I meant like everywhere, but yeah, good point. Okay.
Yes. So you gotta really pay attention to the cultural subtleties. Yeah, we got the food coming in here. There we go. Look at that.
Oh, that's the eggplant.
That's that man. It's
before.
The salata de vinete.
Yeah.
And then your coffee, your.
You want anything? You want a coffee? You split this with me anyway?
Yeah, it's we can have this a little bit. This is your coffee over here. And then this is where you get a chance to say your magic word.
Mulțumesc.
There you go.
Merci.
Ari's got it down.
They also say merci here?
Yeah, they say merci. Yeah,
You got to go for the mulțumesc. What's
Yeah.
thank you in Japanese?
Domo.
Domo.
It's
Okay.
domo. It's arigatō. It's it depends on the thing about Japanese language. It has different levels, because you've got colloquial Japanese, and then you've got like keigo, and keigo is like basically business Japanese, but with a high level of respect. And it's like almost a different language, right? Because like all the phrasings are quite different.
Yeah.
Like for example, if
That's
you were
cool.
to say sorry, like in colloquial Japanese, it would be like sumimasen, which is like I'm sorry. But then in keigo, it would be like moshiwake arimasen,
Whoa.
which means like I have no reason for existing. Which is like a very
Wow.
samurai type of way of saying it.
I love they had that one. It was one of my favorite phrases in Spanish. It's no pasa nada.
No pasa nada.
Yeah.
Nothing happened,
It's just such a like. It's like, oh hey, thanks for bringing it, and it's like nothing happened.
Yeah, yeah.
Don't even worry about it.
Don't worry about it. Don't stress
Yeah.
about it. Yeah, so even in my company, like there would be people that would have difficulty with keigo, because it's a keigo is like business Japanese is a whole different skill, you know.
Yeah, my sister has difficulty with Kegels.
What's that? Kegels. That's the vagina thing, right?
You clench your pussy over and over again. Yeah. Anyway.
I mean, hey, every culture has its unique aspect. But so what was I saying about? Yeah. So the idea was that within Japanese, there's a lot of structure. You know, there's a lot of they have like a lot of things going on. And with the salaryman culture is like you go into the work and you start at 8, and because you want to be a good salary guy, you want to be a good employee, you finish at 9 or 10 p.m.
Yeah. Oh wow.
Yeah, this is the intense stuff.
That's the stereotype of that, right?
Yeah, that's basically the problem with having to, because I was doing recruitment there, you'd have to convince these people to move jobs, you know. And
they're like, I'm working here for 11 hours a day, 12 hours a day. There's no way I'm not going to move a job.
Yeah, exactly. And then they go home, and it's like there's a lot of elements of Japanese culture that we can discuss in a lot of.
It's weird, like during COVID, I don't know if you had this, where it's like you had a moment to reflect, and I think a lot of people are like, oh, I don't want to do this job, or I don't want to live in this city. Because you needed a second to think, and no one had a second to think. And if with that lifestyle, you don't ever get a second to think.
There's never a second to think, yeah. And that's the point. You got to do your job, you know. It's But that's kind of like how I got into. I started doing comedy full time, because I was like, if I didn't have to work for money, what would I be doing? And then the answer for me was comedy, and then I made it happen. Yeah.
Ooh, that's nice. Good backrest. What more could you want out of life, guys? Let me break into today's episode to tell you a little bit about the guest, Dragos. He's a great comedian, lives in Berlin, and he's making his first tour to the United States. I got some dates for you. Check out all his dates on dragoscomedy.com. It's spelled Dragos, but it's Dragos because he's a third-generation vampire. Yeah, it started in Transylvania, and then I was first generation. They moved over to his region, infected a few more, and then another generation came, got his people, and then he moved to Berlin, and he's spreading it now to Berlin. May 8th, New York sold out. May 9th, tickets available. May 10th, sold out, New York. He's killing New York. The Romanians are all coming by. Is that a Romanian dance? Washington, D.C., May 12th. Philadelphia, May 13th. Chicago, May 16th. May 20th, Toronto is sold out, so they added a May 19th show. Montreal, May 21st, 7 p.m. sold out. 9 p.m. added. Go to dragoscomedy.com. dragoscomedy.com. And check out a special. The Shenzhen special available on YouTube right now. We had a blast in Romania. We did a podcast, as you can see, in the town square in Cluj-Napoca, a place you probably will never get to. If I had to guess, you'll probably never go there. I tried to get a postcard from that lady directly behind us selling postcards, and my bill was too big. It was like a 15-cent postcard. I tried to pay with like a 20, and she's like, "No." I was like, "Credit card?" She's like, that was her impression of her laugh when I said credit card for a 15-cent postcard. Oh, that country is... I'll talk about it in the outro. But I've also got some dates. Not many, guys. I'm going to be in Anchorage, Alaska, June 18th. And I'm going to be doing a gig in Charlestown, West Virginia on July 12th or 14th. Let's see here. And then that's it. I'm gone. You can get subscribe right now. Oh, July 12th. Charlestown, West Virginia. At a casino. That'll be my last one. Get tickets at arishaffir.com and subscribe to the podcast wherever you're listening or watching. I appreciate it. I want to go to more fun places like this to bring you guys a little piece of my travels. This is Ecuador. From west to east. The Amazon's over there. You can't see it. Flag. Linked forever. Yeah, everybody keeps asking about Israel and Palestine, and nobody asks about Ecuador. I've spent way more time recently there. I'm way more connected. Why don't you ask me about Ecuador? What could it be? What could it be to make you ask one thing and not the other? What could it be? I can't quite put my finger on it. Let's get back to the episode. Dragos! What'd you get into? I want to know what the food was like. I want to know how expensive it was. I want to know what the bathrooms are like.
Yeah, yes, bro. We're gonna. The food is just another level. Like, man, the food was amazing. Like, that is the thing is the balance between quality and price was insane. You got very high quality food at very low prices, right?
Really?
Yeah, it's insane. Like, you go to Japan and you have like the ramen there, and then the sushi, and you come back to Europe or the USA, and it's like, well, I guess I'm gonna eat like a pig out of a fucking.
And so you compare. It's the same thing. You're not eating a meal here and a meal there. It's like I'm eating the same meal.
Yeah.
I'm eating ramen here.
But the thing is, they do it. They have they've been doing it for fucking hundreds of years, right? So they have like this. I think the thing is they're very proud of like mastery.
Oh wow.
You know?
Yeah.
And the best example I can give you is so the food is like really really good and very accessible. Like, for example, I would get a bento for lunch, which is like a packed meal from downstairs.
Yeah.
Go back and eat it at my desk because that's how much of a salaryman I was. Because you want them to see you working, right? It's not necessarily about like output of quality. It's more like how dedicated are you to this company? How many hours of your life are you giving here, right?
Dude, it's funny because you live now in the country. You live in Berlin, in the country where it's my standard of like they respect the fucking human experience.
Yeah.
They're like, take your weeks off, take them off. And in America, it's probably in between this and Japan, where they're like, look, you get 2 weeks off, but don't take them. Work through those 2 weeks. Work at your desk also.
Yeah, the Japanese culture does reward how many hours of your life you give to them. You know? And not necessarily in an efficient way.
Look at those goth gays.
Yeah. It's we've got a lot of.
They have that inclusion. Oh, those are students probably.
Yeah, I think they're students. Yeah, they look like that's the Berlin little cap.
Yeah, that is a Berlin cap. Dude, I want to shave my head like the Berlin we
can definitely do it, bro.
I think when I get home, I'm gonna do it for the summer. I saw it everywhere. And I'm like,
that's why you're going for, right?
Yeah.
Germany does reward like there's a bit of a focus. I mean, it's not as aggressive as France in terms of like quality of life focus, because like France,
take August off.
Yeah, exactly. They give you a whole fucking month off, right?
Yeah.
But they do like it's a good system in terms of like you don't feel bad for paying taxes in Germany because like everybody's getting fucking like if you get fired, you get like a year unemployment.
My brother got downsized.
Right.
And he goes, yeah, we got a year unemployment at like 80% of your salary.
Yeah.
It wasn't just like a little bit. And I was like, you can look for another job? He goes, maybe you didn't hear me.
Yeah.
I'm getting 80%
I mean, look,
for a year.
I've had friends in Berlin that basically used that 1 year to kind of get their comedy careers off the ground.
Well, that's what it's for.
Yeah.
I was on unemployment in Los Angeles for 9 years. I would pay into a commercial and then like get fired technically because it was a 2-day job. And it was like people like, you're abusing the system. It's like they're letting me achieve my dreams.
Yeah. And it does work. I mean, obviously, there's different opinions in Germany about like there's a bit of a stigma on if you go on welfare, like if you go on like unemployment, then you're a loser or whatever. But like
I'll take it.
Yeah, it's a tool. If you use it the right way, you can really get a business off the ground that is going to pay more taxes later on.
Hold on, let's get back to Japan. This is always my
Japan,
problem. This is always my problem. I get all over the place. Yeah.
Yeah. So in Japan, basically.
So ramen, what was good? Ramen
was great, man. Like if you like just walk into a random place and you've got like the most amazing ramen experience, right?
Wow.
Like this is the thing is the level of mastery for like a particular dish was something that I really take pride in. And my favorite thing is I used to live next to this kushiyaki place. Where it's basically skewers, they put different things on a skewer and you kind of like put it over a grill.
Mm-hmm.
And bro, I would love this place. It was so fucking good. Like the prices were like
what are we talking about?
Like we're talking about like 30 yen, which is let's say 100 yen is a dollar, right? Yeah. Now the dollar is like the conversion rate is like it's 124. Like when I was in Japan, it was like 124.
It was 30 yen for what? A skewer?
Yeah.
So wait.
So like 30 cents.
What?
Yep. And then you just
wow, yeah, take a chance.
yeah, man.
If you're like, I don't know what that is, you're like, let me just go for it.
Exactly, yeah. And it was great. Like,
Do you ever have something and then eat, like, nah, and then just like...
Sometimes, yeah. Bro, they would make these cherry tomatoes wrapped in bacon with a little bit of cheese, and it was like, I think it was like 75 yen, and it was like amazing. It was like an orgasm in your mouth. Like, the food in Japan is something that I do really miss. It was just high quality food, especially living in fucking Germany now.
Yeah, we were talking about it. What fucking terrible taste food.
Yes,
it's like his
rough,
breaded shit.
You know, you gotta. There's trade-offs to be had in life, you know.
Yeah, no wonder they're into scat
Yeah,
porn.
but that shit tastes better.
Yeah, it's like I need some flavor. Let me eat your ass.
Give me some spice, bro. Oh man, but the food was great, and the skewers, the kushiyaki place, this place would they would put like a lot of stuff. Sometimes you have like a tongue of some animal on a skewer, and that'd be just like the chicken. I don't know how the fuck they did it.
Yeah.
But it was just like insane. I think they like did a little brush of soya on it as well. It was like amazing. And the thing is, you can go there and spend like $20, and it would be a feast. I had some of my friends visited me from some of my Romanian friends that live in London. They came over and I took them to this place, and they were like, I can't believe this is real. Like, this cannot be real. This is like it was insane. And you get the whole thing, like, because like you're also sitting under like a table. You're not sitting on a chair, right?
Yeah.
You get
oh really?
Yeah.
The pillows thing?
Yeah. It's like I think it was a tatami mat, which tatami is what it's called. It's like they're made out of like it's like this form of what's it? This plant that what do you fuck? I don't know what it's called. It's you know, like when it's bamboo of sorts. Yeah. Yeah, I think that's what it was, right?
Wicker,
and then the tables are the tables here. You know, sitting under, and you have like sometimes in the winter you have this blanket that's called a kotatsu. And you can go under it and you stay warm and then you eat the things, and it's just like the thing about Japan. It's like another world, like, because they developed so much in isolation, like for so many years.
Oh yeah,
it just created a different ecosystem, you know, like culturally, like the way that they eat food, the way that they prepare it.
I heard there's a type of seaweed that everyone's allergic to except Japanese, because they've been eating it for
so
1,000
many
years, and they're just like, we know how to develop. Like,
it could be like I haven't necessarily had that, but like there's different parts of Japan, and I think if you want to talk about food, again, the sushi, fucking.
Oh yeah, sushi must be great. Let me. I want to do more of this. It's like just the feeling of long-term travel. 3 years is like you're there.
Yeah,
It's not just like, oh, like here in Cluj, this is nice, but there's like, I'm seeing stuff, but I'm not like feeling the feeling of travel. But like, when you have friends come to visit you, it's almost like, tell me if I'm wrong, right? This bragging thing, like showing off, like, look at the meal, look how expensive it is.
Bro, it's like it's like you're taking them by the hand, and you're basically leading them into Narnia, you know? Like, I don't know any other comparison. You're like taking them into like the Lord of the Rings world, you know?
Yeah.
And it's like, look at this, and then like in a very cool way where they're just genuinely curious about it.
Yeah.
And they're very appreciative about it, you know?
Yeah.
So it's like you can take them around to like the different areas, like just from like the Ginza area, which is like the commercial shopping area.
Okay.
To like Omotesando and some other areas where like they're more focused on like temples and like the Imperial Palace. And just taking them on the
sightseeing shit.
Yeah, like just seeing a lot of stuff. It's really cool to like be a guide, you know.
Yeah.
Like act like a guide for some, so showing them the things you discovered.
Yeah.
You know, I was telling you before we started recording about like Akihabara, which is like the electric city where they have a lot of the games, the arcades, and
this is in Tokyo.
Yeah, in Tokyo. Yeah. And it's just like, what the fuck, you know?
What did it look like? Do you have pictures from that time?
I think I do have some pictures.
Yeah, you gotta send me some.
Yeah, I'll check them out. Basically, it's just like. You know those billboards you see in the movies about like Japan, like those big like lit up type of like that all
what
over
is it with
place.
Japanese and like that bright lights and anime and fucking all that shit? What is that?
It's, you know what it is? It's
like Bullet Train, that look of Bullet Train, that movie. Like
exactly.
It's like, where did they get that aesthetic?
I think I think it probably does have to do something with the writing typography, you know, the kanji. Because like if you look at kanji, the writing style, you know, like they have like 3 ways of writing in Japan. It's hiragana, katakana, and kanji. And kanji is basically just the symbols, right?
Okay.
And then the symbol means something. It's like basically, it's kind of like it's like the old version of an emoji. Like, you know, like that's the easiest way I can explain it, right?
Yeah.
So like it's very visual. Because when you learn kanji...
Can I guess something?
Yeah.
So if like let's say you had one that would say like bush, and then another symbol that said smelly.
Yeah.
And if you put those together, it means pussy.
Yeah, something of the sorts, yeah. Yeah, that's not far from the truth. Yeah,
Okay.
that is how that happens, right? So then the idea, but then like the kanji for smelly would be like like a very simplified version of somebody holding. This is I don't know what the kanji for smell is, but like somebody holding their nose, you know. So if you use your imagination, you can actually see. Because like for example, the kanji for forest is basically it looks like mori, right? Because the area where I would live at, it was called Mori Shita, and then mori means forest, and shita means bottom. So the metro station was the bottom of the forest.
Oh, interesting.
You know?
Yeah.
But
okay.
the mori is basically like a square with like free little elements that look like trees. You know, so it's like very visual. So the writing style is very visual, and I think in turn what happened was everything else kind of became a little bit more visual. You know, everything was like, let's go in all the visual stuff. So like for example, you'd have these big billboards are super visual. If you go to some of their like websites, the websites in Japan are very different from the websites that are created like you see in the Western world, right? Because they're full of like visual ads. If you go to like their Amazon, it's called Rakuten. And Rakuten is just like it's fucking. If you go for the first time, you're like, I can't. It looks like Yahoo back in like 2004.
Just everything was going on.
Everything is at the same time, right?
Yeah.
But
Did they just know how to concentrate?
Yeah, exactly.
Whereas
They know
like,
because it's just like second nature. Because you know, like even the way you read stuff in Japan, you don't when you read a book in like here in Europe, you read it from like left to right. In Japan, if you start a book, you read it from right to left. Like
Hebrews like that.
Yeah, you start the book like that, and then the way that the kanji is on the paper, it's not like this, you know? It's not hard. It's vertical.
Oh.
Yeah, so you read it like this. You know, like you have to like root.
Oh, so they're just used to like.
Yeah. So like it's a different kind of like way of like doing things in terms of like that's what I'm saying. Like it developed in a completely different world, right? So like with regards to like Akihabara, like I would go there quite often because it was next to my house. And you know, I always like games and stuff. Like I just bought the new Zelda game. You know, I have like a Nintendo Switch, and I'm on the plane. I'm like tick, playing and stuff. And Japan, you know,
it's a city of games.
Yeah, it's basically
bar?
It's kind of like I would say like it's because in Japan like the size of the places is massive, right? So like let's say Akihabara probably has like maybe like 200,000 people, you know, or something of the sorts.
Oh.
But it's basically like I think maybe it's easier to explain as a whole block. But like your concept of a block might be smaller than their concept of a block, right? But it's they call it the electric city.
Yeah.
And effectively, it's within Tokyo, right?
Yeah.
And they've got like all kind of arcade games. So all the arcade games you might have known from the US, you know, a lot of them come from Japan. Like for example, like Sonic, Street Fighter.
Oh yeah, Nintendo was
exactly,
was Japanese.
Exactly. And Mario Kart. You got these big.
That's just them being racist against Italians. And be like,
I don't know what the history was there, but like, it's I'm Mario.
Hi guys, today's episode of You Be Trippin is brought to you by Talkspace. Talkspace is an industry leader in online therapy. They will help you find a licensed therapist that is qualified and will help you get just back to better, guys. Talkspace makes it easy, accessible, and affordable to face your challenges, whether it's a mental health condition, relationship conflicts, past trauma, or everyday stress. Find your path, move forward with resilience and peace. They're going to help you do that. Plus, most insured members have a $0 copay. I'll tell you why I like Talkspace. I like all therapy, and Talkspace is helping you find it for cheaper and out of the comfort of your own home. It's just talking about yourself. That's all it is. It's just talking about yourself and your own problems with someone who's interested. Kind of the way this podcast is, where I'm interested in your travel, everyone else wants to change the subject. The therapist is interested in just what's bugging you and doesn't change the subject like everybody else. Take care of yourself this month and every month with Talkspace. Talkspace is an in-network with most major insurance plans, but if you pay out of pocket, as a listener to this podcast, you'll get $80 off your first month with Talkspace when you go to Talkspace.com/trippin and enter promo code SPACE80. That's SPACE80. To match with a licensed therapist today, go to Talkspace.com/trippin and enter promo code SPACE80. Now, let's get back to the episode. I saw some breakdown, and who knows what it's based in, but they were like, it's like the Donkey Kong will capture the princess, and
right.
the Italians have to do whatever, and it's just like, it's the Japanese being like, look at these fucking whites, black people are fucking their whites.
Yeah.
And they're trying to get them back and failing.
I'm sure like there's some racial context in there, you know?
Yeah.
Like that's not, because initially Donkey Kong was the villain of like Mario, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
Like it wasn't Bowser, it was like Donkey Kong.
Yeah.
And then
Maybe they switched it up because of that.
yeah, they were like, well, it's a guys, this is on the nose over here, you know.
Yeah.
Mamma mia, you know what?
There's some ad in, I forget where, it's China or Japan, but they're similar. And it's some black guy, and this woman's like shoving him into a washing machine. Then he comes out white or Asian, and he's like, "Thanks."
There's some inbuilt. I mean, look, every nationality, every culture has some inbuilt like biases and stuff. But then there's this video online of this guy who has like white gloves. He's a black guy, right?
Yeah.
He's got like white gloves and he has a mask, and he goes to this Korean lady and he has a mask under the mask, right? And he takes the first mask off, and the lady's like, "Oh," and then he takes the second mask off, and his face is black, and she's like, "Ah." Yeah, there is some degree of.
It's so wild. We're so far past that it's like, oh, what?
Yeah. Japan does have that. Like, I had a couple of friends in Japan. They were like, they're mixed race, right? So like, one of their dad is like Jamaican or something of the sorts, and they did have issues because the Japanese people tend to be, particularly discriminatory against people of color.
Yeah.
It's getting better every day at the moment, but they would call them, and I think this is a derogatory term, hafu.
Hafu?
Yeah, because it's half.
Ooh,
yeah, but you wouldn't want to use it in Japan because it's derogatory, right? It's kind of like them using the N-word.
Yeah.
People would get quite offended.
Wow.
But yeah, it's just, again, it's so many layers of the culture because it's such a big. You have this massive culture. You got like people coming in now. They want to get more people in. They're getting Filipinos in.
And they'd be like, guys, can you quit yelling halfling at these fucking black people?
Yeah,
it's really hurting our tourism.
Japanese racism is not like in your face. They don't yell it on the street.
Yeah.
But they just ice you out of things,
I got so sick of it in Indonesia once. I think it was Malay.
Mm-hmm.
Farang is Thailand. Malay. And I think it translates to white, but then it just became all foreigners. And I just hear it, and it's not racist, but it started as racist,
right.
And then just became like foreigner.
Right.
But I remember being on a bus, and then like they're all looking at me like and they're like, "I'm Malay," and they speak, and they just keep hearing it, and eventually another person got in like Malay, like Malay, I hear you.
Yeah,
it was like enough.
It's a lot of times they don't mean it in a. It's not with malice,
Right.
Like,
the malice was taken out.
Yeah,
but
for example, like in Malaysia and Singapore, like people would refer to like me as angmo. Angmo is like the word for like foreigner, but it means, I think, if I'm not mistaken, and feel free to correct me if you see this, it means red hair, because like the first white people that they got were the Dutch, and then like that's what the association was. White people are angmo, so that's kind of how this guy's a red hair. Like I got no red hair.
Yeah.
But unless I'm shaving my pubes with a razor, am I right? All right. Which it's a story for another time, guys.
All right, let's back to Japan.
Yeah, let's go back to Japan.
What did you get into? What'd you like do? What kind of things do you remember? Like.
Yeah, I mean, I would like basically going out in the weekends and kind of getting some food. I was very happy the fact that I got my first Nintendo DS in Japan,
Oh,
that's I got
cool.
it in...
what year was this?
It was like 2014, 2012, 2013-ish, yeah. Because like you wouldn't get a lot of video games in Romania. Like, we were talking about like the scarcity of stuff. Like, fucking never saw a PlayStation until I was like 20 in the UK.
That must have been wild, coming from fucking recently freed Iron Curtain to Japan.
Yeah. Yeah, we didn't get like the Game Boy, the Nintendos. We didn't get them in Romania, or the PlayStations. We got these the Tetris games, Oh
yeah.
And I don't know if you know, the Tetris was actually it's a Russian game.
Oh really?
Yeah, Tetris was developed in Russia.
Yeah, when you win on Tetris, you go to like a Kremlin type thing.
Yeah, there's exactly. There's this American comedian that has a.
And they're all dancing like this.
I think what his name is, something Brombaum. There's this American comedian that has a joke about like
Harrison Greenbaum.
I think he's a gay guy if I'm not mistaken. Is that the guy?
Not officially.
Okay. But anyway, maybe I just automatically assumed.
I know, yeah.
But
I think he does jokes about it. He seems gay.
He's got a good joke about like Tetris is like we had Japanese had Mario, the US had like whatever, and then Russian they were like blocks. You know what I'm talking about?
Mm-hmm.
Blocks. And what happens? We take them away if you complete it. Yeah, this is really good joke, and I'm like, yeah, this is exactly it. Yeah. So basically we had like Tetris and we played Tetris and stuff.
Reminds me of Kurt Metzger's joke. Sorry, I should get back to it. But he goes, Ben and Jerry's is like capitalism. It's like, oh, look at all the crazy flavors we have. He goes, Haagen-Dazs is German. What flavors? Pure vanilla.
Yes, pure vanilla. Yes.
All right. Yeah.
No chocolate. That is the flavor.
No.
Yes. And then basically what happened was.
So you sat home and played video games all day?
Basically, I would go to like these arcades, right? Because like the videos there. So I would go in Japan. I'd go to the arcades. I would go to that Akihabara place. I would go to like Shibuya. You know Shibuya, the crossing. You never see, when you hear Japan, you hear about the Shibuya crossing, which is like this massive crossing in the middle of the Shibuya train station. It's like the biggest crossing in the world, the busiest crossing in the world, right?
Oh.
So maybe you've heard about it, you've seen it, and then I was always like, "Fuck, I've always seen this on TV. I want to go there and be in there, right?"
Yeah.
So I would go every now and then there, and I'd walk around, and I'd go to some of the malls. The Shibuya crossing is just like it's so iconic, right? And then I would just hang around there with my friends, and then we'd go to like the izakayas. Izakayas is like a drinking place, right? It's like
Okay.
a fucking what would you
What
call
do
it?
they drink? What was their booze?
Yeah, so you like you'd have like different kinds of
Sapporo.
alcohol, like you get like sake, and you can get like. But what we would go for, because we were salarymen, and then we were like relatively not we weren't bathing in money, right? We were like the entry level salary at that time was like I think if you joined there was like 200,000 yen. Out of which you get
So 50
taxed.
grand?
So yeah, you get like about $1,200 at the end of the month, $1,200 at the end of the month, right? Which you have to pay rent, which is like 700, and then you got like 500 for the rest of the
Oh, not $50,000.
No. It's basically $1,200 you'd have in your hand at the end of the month, right?
Oh, wow.
Out of which like
Damn.
600 or 700 would go on rent. So then you got
you're
get
poor.
the rest to stretch, right? So then this is how the salarymen like fresh graduates like live, right? That's a lot of like fresh graduates, like 20, 29, right? This is how Japanese culture works, right? Society, and they don't have a lot of depending on the sales job you are. There's not a lot of commission-based stuff. I was in the commission-based place, so I did better in the second year. But the idea was you would go to nomi hodai, and nomi hodai is basically all you can drink. And then you'd go there and you get beer, and it's like nomi hodai. Sometimes you'd be like 1,200 yen, sometimes you'd be like 2,000. And you'd go like 3 times a month, right? Which is like you spend $30 and it's all you can drink. No, the tabe hodai was all you can drink and all you can eat. So for 2 hours, you go there and you can.
All you can drink and all you can drink.
Yeah.
Oh.
And this works with Japanese people.
Because they're not animals.
Yes, exactly. So they would always like what would happen is if you had a table full of foreigners, they'd be like, "Fuck."
Can I tell you the 2 examples where it doesn't work because you don't know cultural?
Yeah.
When I was in Israel in yeshiva, they did 2 things. They had a all-you-can-eat Tuesday Pizza Hut, and you can just keep eating until you get pie by pie, but you have to finish your pie before you get another one. And we'd starve ourselves for a day, eat a whole pie, get another slice, and then we'd wrap this up.
Right.
And then Subway sandwiches had the free like refills on cups, and they underestimated what Jews are.
Right.
And people would like go home with their cups and come back.
Oh my God.
People would come in like they never sold a large. They only sold smalls.
Oh my God.
And they just like I think they had to do away with the system. They were just like they didn't do the market research.
Doesn't make sense. It's like these people have no control.
Yeah, it's like they wouldn't even think they're doing anything wrong.
Yeah, it's
They'd be like, use my cup and then bring it back to the dorms later.
Yeah, that's crazy. So then you have this system, and then whenever they get foreigners, they'd be like, "Fuck." And you would see
loopholes.
Because what would happen is they, in order to kind of bypass the fact that foreigners, because foreigners have a higher alcohol tolerance.
Oh, yeah.
Japanese people, like how, have you ever seen like how Japanese people when they drink they get super red?
Mm-hmm.
It's because I think they don't have an enzyme that like probably breaks down alcohol or something of the sorts, right? That's why the reaction. So a lot of times they can get drunk faster.
Yeah.
And basically so it works to have all you can drink when the person's gonna have free drinks and they're gonna be like
pass out.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
They're
like always on antibiotics.
So exactly. So what happens is like if you get like a foreigner who's fucking an animal, like drinks 7 beers and is like, yeah, another one,
They get Shane Gillis in there and they'd be like, we lost our business.
Yeah, exactly. You get you get like Shane Gillis in there and it's like we gotta pack it up.
Yeah, Shane and Bert just go take over Japanese
what they
places.
would do to kind of get around that is they would stagger the orders.
Oh yeah.
So they'd like fucking take extra long to get them over. They would take an extra. Sorry, it's so busy. Sumimasen. It's very busy.
They did it on purpose for you.
Yeah. So you'd have to kind of always like press. There's a button on the table because that's how you get the waiter. There's a button and they come to your table, and then you have to fucking mash that button. Yeah. They would come over and be like fucking. So we would do that basically. That was a big part of the culture, like going to the tabe hodais and nomi hodais, and doing it like at some of the places next to Shibuya, the cross station. It's like really like. like a fucking movie, you know?
Did you do that thing with the subway where they shove you in with the fucking
Yeah,
stick?
bro, yes.
Wow.
Yes, I got shoved in a couple of times. It was pretty insane.
What? Literally, that's one of the things I want to do in
Yeah,
Japan.
yeah, you should definitely do it. Like, someone's definitely gonna touch your balls.
Wait, by accident or like?
Well,
grab
it's always up for debate, right? I'm like, someone's a little bit. That's a cup, bro.
Yeah. That's not a brush by.
Yeah, that's not a brush.
back
You're
of
like
your
you're funneling, you know?
yeah.
Yeah, man. That was one of my first experiences because you know, like it's rush hour, right? So everybody's trying to get to work at the same time, and everybody's trying to get a little bit more sleep. So what I would do is I'd just go to work earlier, which would make my fucking work day even longer, because it gets fucking sweaty, you know?
Yeah.
And
So do
you're
after the
wearing-
Yankee games where it's all packed and then you go like, wait, just wait, just go drink. Let's
Exactly. And then you're also fucking, you know, you're in a suit.
wait. Yeah.
So you're getting sweaty in a suit, and especially when like summer season comes and it's like super humid, you're just fucking sweating. It's
Yeah.
It's
What is it about people that like you've seen everywhere, where it's like, hey, can you move in so I can get on?
Yeah.
And be like, oh yeah, and they'll move
Yeah,
aside.
yeah.
And like they're like, listen, we're just getting on.
Yeah.
We're all gonna do it.
yeah, they're gonna, because I'm missing work, you know.
Yeah.
Like, what
How
the
do you
fuck?
get off when you're shoved in like too far off?
I mean, the people got to get out. You got to push your way out. You got to push. Like it's like you
Really?
can't be passive, right? So like this in this
Wow.
situation, you know, like Japanese people are very polite. In this situation, there's no fucks given, you know.
Wow.
Like I'm missing work, and what happens sometimes, you know, the trains are late, and even when the trains are late, they give you a note from the train station to say, "Sorry, we were late. That's why he was late." You can get a
doctor's note?
Yeah, doctor's note from
the
the
train
train
station?
Yeah, it's very.
So you can
interesting.
like say he's not lying.
He's not lying. Yeah,
Right.
yeah. He's not lying. Yeah, it's we had some faulty.
In New York, they should do that. Like, sorry, I had to take another train because someone was masturbating and looking at me.
Yeah, and
So I was a little bit
sometimes
delayed.
it doesn't really happen as much on the trains in Japan, but like
happens out there?
let's get the masturbation. That's gonna be a fun one.
Okay, yeah.
So
This is the nitty gritty I
in
like.
Akihabara, the electric city,
Yeah.
there's a building where they have 4 stories. It's a 4-floor building, and all of it is full of porn and sex toys and that kind of stuff, right? So you've got like the JAV, the Japanese adult video models, which is like the censor porn you see from Japan traditionally,
Yeah.
and they're playing it on screens in the building, you know. So you go in there, you watch porn, you know.
What's it called? Yoshi Obayashi's?
No, it's not that one. No, that's not that one. But
Yeah.
there's it's insane. I went there and I was like, I'll go there just to masturbate. No, I'm joking. But
What?
the thing is,
What?
you would go into this building, and I took some of my friends to check it out because it's a pretty cool building, and there would be guys just masturbating in front of the videos, and I'm like, whoa.
Is it a? That guy runs like a spaz.
Yeah. I was like, for a moment, I was like, did he take
yeah,
something?
Yeah, it looked like it, but his hands are
Yeah.
down. Wait. So it's not a porn.
It's
It's like a jerk off place.
so no, it's not officially a jerk off place. But one guy sometimes they'll just whip it up. You remember like you hear like stories from the U.S. where like back in the day you'd have the blockbuster and then the curtain thingy.
Yeah.
This building is just that. What's in the curtain thingy for a whole floor, for like 5 floors.
And then it's also legit,
It's
or
legit.
it's only for degenerates who want to do that.
No, but you don't go to masturbate. That's not the purpose. But people
The
will
curtain
go,
thing is for that.
Yeah. Oh, it's for
And-
that.
Oh, you just go there to masturbate
Oh,
in
okay,
front
yeah.
of a lady.
No, you don't go. You don't do that. Like it's not. It's frowned upon
His
to take your
arms
dick
aren't
out in
moving
public.
right.
Yes.
They stay too far down when he
It's
runs.
he's got a style. But
Yeah.
it's
So, okay,
the
sorry.
purpose of the building is to purchase porn and sex toys or outfits or whatever, right?
Yeah.
And they do screen the porn in the building so you can see what you're buying.
Sure.
But some people will be a little bit enthusiastic.
Well, let me
about the
test
porn.
it.
Yeah. Be like, let me see
So
if
let me test drive this porn.
works for me.
Yeah.
So then my friends basically they walked into a corner and this Japanese dude was just
Wow.
yeah, it's wild. And
To completion?
well, we didn't stay
You
for
just
the
stay
rest
around.
of the show.
Yeah. You
We
stay
didn't
around,
want to see
let's
like
see what
the,
happens. Yeah.
how does this conclude, you know?
Yeah.
We didn't go all the way in, but it was definitely a fucking wild journey, right? And but they have places in Japan, like my friend, because
Fucking
we used to
kids
work
here
in
look
the-
so
we used to
fucking
work in-
old. How
Yeah,
old are
like-
these kids?
I don't know. I think they're like 14, 12.
Yeah,
like
but they have like mustaches and shit. They're fucking
you know, you
old
get that,
here.
You get that Suikan Rakyu from when you're 4. You know, you had it puts hair on your chest, on your face, on everywhere.
Yeah, oh, right.
It builds, gets the testosterone pumping, right?
Yeah.
So anyway, but basically because I was in Japan for like these kind of places, they have like outlets where you can really get all your frustration out, because you build a lot of frustration, right? So there are a couple of like different places. One of my mates told me that he went, his Japanese friend took him to a place where they put like 20 guys in the room,
Yeah.
And then this is a real place, by the way. I couldn't believe it when I heard it. But they put you in a room. It's a dark room, and then the ceiling lights up, and the ceiling is a screen. It's like a see-through. It's a see-through like glass pane, right? And then what happens is the two girls come out, and they take a shit on the glass. And then the guys are like,
dude.
Yeah, take it all in.
I mean, it's like when you hear a story start, and you're like, your mind just naturally goes to like, what this,
Kinda
where
like
this,
that, yeah.
where this could go.
Yeah.
And I was like, what do they look upskirt stuff? I mean, I didn't even consider.
Yeah.
I would be interested in that, not
Dude,
sexually.
my friend,
but
yeah,
just
my
thinking,
friend Ronald
so
was
shit
telling.
onto the
Yeah,
onto
yeah, the glass plane.
and
Yeah.
how far above it is you?
I think it's like about 2 meters above. It's not like there's space. You know, you
So
can.
like where this.
Yeah, kind of. Yeah.
Do
Yeah.
you lay down or you just sit down and look?
No, you just sit up. You just stand up and look.
And they jerk off to it?
Well, this is what my friend was telling me. I've never been to this place, but my friend said his Japanese friend is like, let me show you real Japan.
This is in Tokyo?
Is in Tokyo, yeah.
I gotta
Yeah, they've
find
got
it.
they've got different sex clubs.
That's
and,
real Japan. Exactly.
Yeah.
This is what I say. It's like, and this was what this podcast is.
Yeah.
It's not like, oh, you're in New York, you got to have
Yeah.
Pizza Suprema. It's like,
Yeah.
no. What are the cool bars that
Yeah.
nobody knows? That's what you want to tell people.
And this is what the guy was saying. It doesn't smell. You don't feel the smell of the shit. You just see it.
yeah.
Yeah.
Great.
And
All
it's
the benefit, none of the negative.
And it's like some people like it. It's kind of their thing. But then when I heard about it,
Obviously, if it's a working
yeah,
business.
yeah, it's working business. You pay
Yeah.
like whatever the fuck it is, and you get in there.
I want to go there so bad.
Yeah, I'll put you in touch with my friend. Maybe he can hook you up.
Yeah, okay.
Get you in the.
Can you get like a diarrhea room?
Well, I
Or is it just like
look.
dealer's choice?
There's
like,
definitely different packages.
Yeah.
You can choose what's on the menu.
wow.
You want to have you want to have them
Wow.
eat like cherries with seeds.
Yeah. all right. In Iceland, they couldn't figure out there
I
was
want
some
you to have
tomatoes.
like a whole fucking jar of olives and swallow the seeds, the fucking olives.
Yeah, and then I want to see that come out.
Yeah.
Wow.
possible, yeah. It's so there are this kind of because there's places like
What is it? They're just pent up,
I don't know, man. It's Japan. It's a lot of frustration.
or they're just freer. Like do you think in America they would do that as well if they were allowed?
But I mean, look, Japanese does have less. It's considered a bit of a shy country, but in every family mart and every convenience store you have hentai books on the fucking shelf. That
Hentai porn.
Yeah, exactly. That people just go and read. You've got a guy getting off work and going, and he's reading this very visual, graphic, sex. You guys know what hentai is, right? Like, if not, Google it and thank me later. And then they're reading it in the fucking thing.
Wow.
Some people are reading on the train and stuff. Like, of course, it's not everybody. It's like the one guy. you see
Right.
every now and then.
But if it's like a part of society.
Yeah, exactly. But you will see. You go to Japan, you see a guy reading the fucking hentai thing. It's not.
I like how in Amsterdam they will take kids on class field trips to the red light district.
Yeah.
In Copenhagen, they'll take them to the Christiania, and they're like, "We're not embarrassed about this. This is part of our city."
Exactly. I think American culture is a little bit more prude.
It's so much more prude.
And I think especially like in Midwest or whatever, other places.
It's gotten to everywhere too. If you ask
Yeah.
a girl, "Hey, can I jerk off in front of you?" and she says yes, then you will be
Yes,
ostracized from society.
Things are gonna happen.
Yeah.
Things are gonna happen.
Yeah, it's become like prudish.
But in this situation, like in Japan, like the hentais they're in the store. Not everybody goes to pick it up, and sometimes they are considered like you're a pervert if you're doing that. But like they're like, yeah, who the fuck are you? Because like there's such a big city, like the chances of like bumping into that person ever again, if like
Oh, good point. Is there a level of anonymity there because it's such a mob city?
I think there is, yeah, because it's it's just like I think the first thing you kind of experience when you go to Japan. Have you been to Japan?
No, I gotta go.
It's just the
Me and Joe DeRosa trying to go.
overwhelming amount of people. I mean, you've been to Hong Kong, right? It's a lot of motherfuckers,
Yeah.
And so if you go to Japan at like 8 p.m., 7 p.m. at like a Shinjuku station, which is the busiest train station in the world, you will be overwhelmed by the sheer amount of people. There's like all these people are individuals. They have lives. They have dreams. Like what the fuck?
Yeah.
So it fucks a bit with your mind.
I noticed that in like China. I hate Chinese immigrants. Not Chinese immigrants. Sorry, Chinese
Just
tourists.
to stop you for a second. You see those guys with flowers? They
Yeah.
put those on graves here in Romania.
Yeah, that's for a funeral, sir.
Yeah, funerals. Yeah, I don't know if you've seen them before, but yeah, somebody died. So they're going to celebrate. Well, not celebrate, but like they're going to put that on the church.
Damn.
Yeah, sorry, carry on.
But Chinese tourists, and they have no sense of personal space.
Yeah,
Like, why don't you? They just bump into you, and then
Yeah.
when you finally go there, you're like, oh right, that's not enough. That's not a right they're afforded
Yeah,
personal
yeah,
space.
yeah.
There is none, so they don't
Yeah.
get used to it.
Yeah,
Whereas
exactly.
we're like, this is my area.
It's a lot of people, man. It's a lot of people, and the population density. You don't really think about it. Like if you look at around here, like look how much space we have, right?
Wide open space. So if somebody comes right next to you, you'd be like, "What are you doing?"
Yeah. Like what the fuck, man?
Yeah.
But like in Japan, this is like if you walk around like Shibuya, Shinjuku, Ginza, there's a lot of people. There's a lot of motherfuckers. And
did you fuck it all there?
Yeah. I had
You got
I've got some interracial relations, but I had a girlfriend for a long period of time there, like for 3 years, so I didn't like go crazy. But I had a lot of friends that were like really going into it, right? Like my, if you're a white guy in Japan, there is the white privilege thing, right? People, you are the exotic element, right?
Wow, that's cool.
So like in that situation,
that must be cool to be treated like a king.
Well, I think it goes into the direction where you have a lot of people from these countries where in their countries they can't get laid, and they go to Japan and it's like fucking a bonanza, And there is like some people are not big fans of this because like you're nobody there and now you're here because of the way that the culture is. What we're talking about even here in Romania, you get a halo effect, right?
Yeah.
The halo effect. So people will just be like, oh yeah, this guy's a foreigner, Like
in Shanghai it's the opposite.
It is.
So all these people would go there, especially outside Shanghai, to like Wuxi and like Suzhou and stuff, because like you used to being a pretty woman, and whatever, and like a percentage of people looking at you. If you're like an 8,
right?
You used to be treated like an 8,
right.
And then you go to like a city like that where there's 8 million people,
right?
And only about 20,000 of them will be interested in you, and the rest don't even want to look at you. And so then you're like, am I ugly?
Right.
And they have to like deal with like, why is nobody hitting on me?
But the thing is, it's also like how like in the USA and Europe you have like these some people have a fetish, right? Like a race fetish or whatever.
Yeah, I like pussies.
Yeah, exactly. But in Japan as well, there is it's kind of like a bucket list thing.
Right.
Sometimes it can be a bucket list thing. Fuck a white guy.
One of the reasons I moved to New York is like I want to fuck a black chick.
There you go.
And I'm like they're more mission accomplished.
And the situation is like you have that as well, right? So some people kind of like go a bit crazy in that direction because like it takes over. Like with any form of like excess, right? Mm-hmm. It takes over your life. And there's a lot of stories in that direction as well. Like I myself, like I said, I had a girlfriend for like 3 years when I was there. And only at the end, like when we broke up, I kind of like dipped into the pool.
Yeah.
But there is an advantage.
Wow.
And it would be like
use it, especially as a dude. You never get an advantage.
Yeah, exactly.
So
that's what I mean. Like, like you experience a situation where you're on Tinder and suddenly like you're getting matches every swipe.
Yeah.
I'm like, what the fuck?
Yeah. Wow. Yeah.
Because like that's not usually how it goes, right? So it is some of that angle, but like
I mean, if you're a trans person and you go to Thailand, you're suddenly like, wow, I'm accepted here.
Yeah, exactly. So like it's different angles, different cultures, right? But then when I was there, basically to go back to some of the mastery of things, right? Like people, like we went to this city, and I was like, where are we going? It's the city called Utsunomiya, which is like I think it's Tokichi or something prefecture, which is like under Fukushima prefecture.
Okay.
You know that Fukushima name, right?
Yeah, we all know now.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
and my friend was like, let's go to this city because this is the Gyoza city. Gyoza dumplings?
Uh-huh.
It's like everybody they're like everybody in this fucking city makes gyoza. This is what they were saying, like. And like, what do you mean everybody? This is where they develop mastery for it, right?
Wow.
So it's like super famous for gyoza. And I was like, fucking gyoza. What the I've had gyoza, what the fuck, right? And we go to the city and we go to this place and the line 5 hours.
No.
Bro.
No.
5 hours.
No.
5 hours. We waited for 5 hours.
For a dumpling?
For dumplings.
You're a dork.
And
no way.
My friends wanted to do it, and I was just on my phone, but like, bro, best dumplings.
Really?
I don't know if it's because I was so hungry at that point, but these were the best gyoza dumplings I have ever in my life. Like, even to this day, I'm like, man, that was a fucking good dumpling.
You still remember it?
Yeah, it's good. And the thing is, this is the crazy thing, is I was expecting they're gonna fleece us,
Yeah.
The price was normal. It was like fucking 800 yen or some shit. We paid like, I think we ate for like 4 people, and at the end we paid like, in total like 2,000 or 3,000 yen, which is like $30.
For an amazing thing.
And I was like, what the fuck?
Yeah, anywhere else they would jack that price.
This is exactly because you've got demand and supply, right?
Yeah, Mission Burrito in fucking in Haight or wherever. I guess the Mission.
But this is the thing.
$20 burritos.
This is what I really liked about Japan is they don't do that.
Right.
Because they're like, I am making this, it's my craft, and I'm making it accessible. and they want.
This is the right price for this.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
Yep.
and
That's why I have $20 tickets to every show.
and I want people to enjoy it, you know, because like normally, like you'd think like these guys should fucking, because you know my
you
mind.
could get more. You're a capitalist.
Yeah, my mind is like fucking bro, go fucking start
Yeah.
a fucking franchise, fucking
Yeah,
get
right.
these dumplings out there,
But then they couldn't do it. Then they'd
But-
have to trust someone else to do it right.
Yes, exactly,
Yeah.
because someone's gonna fuck up your shit, right? So you take such pride in your work.
Yeah.
But have you ever seen like Jiro Dreams of Sushi?
No, I've heard of it.
Bro, it's like that, Like you gotta spend before you can touch the fucking fish, you spend 5 years just fucking touching the rice.
Wow.
And I'm like, what the fuck? So the same thing with this gyoza situation. I was like, the gyoza was so fucking good, and then these guys are like so down to earth, so modest. Like this is what I've dedicated my life to, And then I live in a modest place. It's a modest place, but I have a big line in front because this is the everybody's definition of success is different, right?
Yeah.
Like we're talking about
Yeah.
this the other day.
Yeah.
It's like I'm getting this many subscribers, this many followers, this many views. I think for them it's like, yeah, just like maybe if it's good, people will come. And I think in a way for them, like having the huge line is like the thing,
That's like, hey, we're doing this good. If
We're doing
everyone's here
this
for
good,
this.
yeah.
They
This-
all want.
yeah,
Look how
they-
excited
and
people are.
people are
like a street
waiting.
performer when people gather around. It's
yeah.
like because they're good.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
loud.
so they're like, and then they're like, I am not. They have this respect for the customer.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Cool.
Yeah, like for example, like Japan. I think this is one of the like whether it's in ramen, whether it's in gyoza, and even electronics or like machinery, they have a respect.
Yeah, Hondas are the best and Toyotas.
This is it, and I think.
My friend said if you buy a Honda or Toyota, you can just weld the hood shut
Yeah.
for 5 years.
Yeah, and this is the thing is I think this is the big difference between like capitalist culture, like just Western culture and Japan.
Yeah.
There is a higher degree of respect.
Pride in your craft.
Yeah, pride in your craft. Like I think at the moment, like my fucking iPhone is like I had it at 2 years and slowing down.
Yeah.
Remember like when that thing was the iPhone was like fucking
Yeah.
purposely slowing it down.
Yeah. Mine
And
too.
I'm
It's like, why is it?
And it's because at this point, at the core of it, you don't respect the customer, right? You
Yeah.
just want to fucking get as much money out of them as possible.
Dude, this is what comics do. We talk about this in terms of
Yeah.
comedy, like putting on a show and
Yeah.
making sure,
Yeah.
like having good openers and like,
Yeah.
and like you can't charge $100 for your show when you're a month out of your special,
Yeah.
where you're like kind of,
Yeah.
oh, what else?
Yeah.
And it's
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
it's not fair to this crowd.
And they will because they don't know any better. They will give it.
Yeah,
but,
they're like, oh,
it's-
cool, I saw this guy, but it's like
That's-
respect them enough to really bring it.
Yeah, this is the thing, and I've paid like €60 for a ticket, and I'm like, oh, this is an open mic.
Right? Yeah,
know, like, this is your
Or
try-
music, who's like, are you guys phoning it in?
Yeah,
Get
yeah,
your set list
yeah.
down.
And the situation is the respect for the customer comes across in every area. Like look at fucking let's I do a little bit of gaming, so like the Nintendo Switch, right?
Yeah.
Nintendo Switch has been out for like six years now, and it's basically it's a tablet from fucking 2016, and it's like super underpowered. But then they invested all that time in optimizing games for it, so you would get more life out of it.
Oh,
So
interesting.
you don't have to buy another one. You don't have to
They
buy
want
one.
you to keep that one.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
Wow.
so they invested different because
Wow.
there's some pride in making good things.
Yeah.
Making reliable stuff. So this comes in question of like you see it in the food, you see it in the fucking clothing, manufacturing from Japan, and I think that's the biggest difference. If you were to, there's a little bit more respect,
Right.
and that's the core of Japanese culture, respect, right, and
Yeah.
pride and honor, and yeah, you see it, man. Like the fucking guy with the gyoza, like fucking good fucking
God
gyoza, right?
damn.
Because like after a point, it's
So where
like
the bathrooms are all clean.
yeah, exactly. Yeah, the bathrooms, man. The fucking best thing is one of the best things about Japan is the toilets.
Yeah.
Like you ever see?
Oh, by the way, every time I ask this, it's either no, the same as always, or horror story.
Yeah.
This is the first time I've gotten like they're awesome.
No, bro. Because I like in my office building, they would have the toilets with the sprinkler. Like the
Bidet?
Japanese toilets. Yeah, the bidet. But like it's basically it's a toilet seat,
Yeah.
and it has like a little remote on the side.
Yeah.
And then you can press buttons and you can change the speed of stuff. I have a joke about it, and it just shoots water in your butt. Like I don't know why we don't have it all over the world. It's much better. It feels great.
My friend said this is how you should do it. Goes, imagine spilling some Coca-Cola on a table.
Yeah.
And you take a dry cloth and wipe it off.
Yeah.
It's sticky still.
Yeah.
So you take a wet cloth
Yeah,
and wipe
yeah,
it off.
yeah.
That's it.
It's next level, bro. And then like they really put a lot of work into that. Like even for like for girls' toilets, you can play music from it, so the person in the
Really?
next cubicle doesn't hear you pee. There's a
Me and my friend went to Noma, this restaurant. It was like the best restaurant in the world. For a
Yeah.
while. They just shut down because we can't do this sustainably and pay
Is this in
everybody right.
Copenhagen?
Mhm.
Yeah, I heard about it.
And then there was an American head chef, not
Mm-hmm.
the guy, and he took us on a tour. We saw these chefs, because everyone who works there is a chef who's just trying to like, I'm high level, but I want
Right.
to work for this guy,
Right,
Renee
right.
Zeppi, so I could like
The mastery
learn.
element, yeah, man.
And they're peeling walnuts, like the little thin skin on the
Right,
outside,
right.
not the shell.
Yeah.
And I'm like, what are they doing? They're peeling walnuts. He goes, why? Does it taste better? He goes, no. I'm like, then why do they do it? He goes, you don't like to get that shit in your teeth.
Yeah.
Like, you have two high-level chefs take the whole day so you don't get a little shit in your teeth.
This is the thing.
Just to play music so that the person next to you doesn't have to hear you fucking fart.
Yeah.
It is like, it's glorious. That level of respect for your customer and the experience.
Wow. It's another level, man. It's and like I said, like the
Justin, demand that at all my shows that we have music playing in the stalls.
Yes, it's it's definitely a different world, and I think the respect for the customers is really like next level. And one of the things that I did like there as well was like the trains are always on time, and if like the train is not on time, they apologize.
Wow,
like one time they had this thing where like the trains, the trains were like, I think they were late in total for the year, like 60 seconds. And they issue out like an apology for everybody,
Wow.
Like we have failed, You
know what they do with Delta? They're like, hey, flight's not coming. Sorry, you waited 7 hours.
Yeah.
And like, are you going to rebook us? Like, nah.
And it's and I think this is.
What was that hiking story you were going to tell me?
Oh yeah, the hiking story. Okay, I was going to tell you. What happened was sometimes it's because you're working so much, and I think this is the thing is like it just takes up so much of your mind space, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's so working all the time, there's pressure, and sometimes other people kind of organize stuff, and I'm like, yeah, let's do stuff, right?
Yeah.
So one of my friends is like, Friday night, let's go. We're gonna go to Mount Fuji, and I'm like, oh, cool. So then I basically Mount Fuji is like 2.5 hours away from Tokyo. You take a train, then I think you take a small bus, right? So I was like, yeah, fuck, I'll just get off work and go to Mount Fuji, right? So I basically I left my my shit at home, and I got a small backpack, and it's just like sneakers and like jeans on. And in my mind, it didn't fucking process, right? But Mount Fuji is 4,000 meters,
Yeah.
And basically, I thought
feet.
like I completely did not. I wasn't paying attention or whatever the fuck was happening. But basically, we went there, and then like we're gonna climb Mount Fuji. And I was like, yeah, we're gonna sleep here and then climb it on Saturday. No, it's Mount fucking Fuji. If you do it there in the day, you're gonna get sunburn. You're gonna fucking get dehydrated. You're gonna die. So what they do is, if you wanna see the sunset, you climb Mount Fuji at night. So basically, you go there and you start the climb at like midnight. And it takes you like 5 hours to go all the way up to the top, right? Or like, so you get there like 5 a.m. Sorry.
Yeah.
And
Sunrise.
So basically, I've got like fucking normal shoes on, tennis shoes on. I've got jeans. I was like, I'm gonna get a snack for the bus ride. I got like 4 bananas and a bottle of water in my backpack, and no fucking flashlight.
Yeah, midnight hike.
In the fucking darkness. So we're like, and my
Is
friend.
it foresty or deserty or like?
No, it's more like dusty.
Barren? Okay.
So like my friend is like, what the fuck? Do you know what the fuck we're doing now? And then like you don't even have a fucking jacket. It's the fucking mountain. It's 4,000 meters. You're gonna fucking freeze. So then one of my friends basically had like for whatever reason, because they want to take some photos on top of the mountain with like a giraffe onesie. So then I wore the giraffe onesie.
All the way up?
Yeah.
And to save yourself?
Yeah, and it's like you got like different stops, different camps, So then basically we're climbing this motherfucking mountain in the middle of the night, and we're going from stop to stop, and I'm like, it's fucking rubble. It's like I got like fucking these are like thick soles, I got like fucking like it's like Converse type stuff, yeah. It was just Japanese shoes. They're called Onitsuka Tiger. Yeah, but they're like fucking have like thin soles, right?
Yeah.
And I'm fucking suffering throughout this whole journey. Like, it's darkness. I don't know what the fuck I'm putting in my hand. Only the guys in front, like we're 4 people. Only one guy has a fucking lantern.
So you're all looking at his.
Yeah, exactly. It's a fucking pitch black darkness, and I'm like, what the fuck am I doing? But it was great. Like we got all the way. It was exhausting.
Yeah.
Like, because the problem with like climbing a mountain is the fucking oxygen goes away.
Yeah.
The more you go up the mountain, the less fucking oxygen you have, and the more difficult it is to breathe.
Yeah, exactly. We did this in Guatemala, and you're going straight up, and you're like trying to catch your breath, but you just keep getting less oxygen.
Exactly. So like we're running. I've got like a little water on me. We get to and then like and it gets tougher and tougher. I'm like, what the? Am I gonna fucking die on Mount Fuji here? And then we get to some of the camps, and luckily some of the camps they have like tea and you can pay, and obviously overpriced and stuff. And the camp is like like a little fucking shed,
Yeah.
You go there and you take a small break, and just and I'm like, and then people were like, "What the fuck are you doing?
Yeah.
Like,
Why are you
the
dressed
fuck?
this way?
You stupid foreigner."
Yeah. You're Malay.
Yeah, you fucking you baka gaijin.
That's what they call him.
Yeah. Baka is stupid and gaijin is foreigner. And then it was a fucking it was physically exhausting. It was such completely underprepared. And because Mount Fuji is a fucking volcano, right?
Yeah.
And then we get to the top of the crater, and what do we see at the top of the crater? Vending machines. There's full of fucking vending machines. There's like like those Japanese traditional vending machines.
Yeah.
They basically got like 4 of them up there. And I'm like, what the fuck?
Dude, some old man on his back.
I don't know how the fuck they got it. I don't know what the fuck happened, but there were vending machines on the top of Mount Fuji, and you could buy like fucking
they plug
matcha.
them in.
Yeah, I don't know how they got them. Maybe they flew them in. And obviously they're like it's like fucking $8 for like a fucking can or whatever. Because it's
I was on the Great Wall of China.
Yeah.
And it was already got the price. Everybody told me because Turner and Andy brought me out there. And like, this is the price of water. They'll try to charge you this because you're white, but this is the price. Just tell them like, no.
Yeah.
And let's say it was 100, whatever.
Yeah. And
as soon as you get up there, they're like 600. I'm like, no, it's 100. And he goes, yeah, not when you have to lug it up all the way to the top of the fucking wall. And you're like, all right, fair.
It's exactly. Yeah, that's because it's what are you gonna drink?
Yeah.
You gonna drink your own piss?
Yeah.
You're welcome to do it. So that was one of the crazy stories that I was like, what the fuck? And then
wow, how was the sunrise?
It was great, man. It was great. I think I have some photos. I'll try to dig them up. It was like
those.
fucking 2015, 2014. I think they were on Facebook or something.
Okay.
But it was wild. It was definitely wild. It was one of the intense experiences. And I'll tell you one more.
Okay.
Because basically I was working in the corporate environment, right? I was working with a lot of it's very male dominated, right? Japan. Let's get this out there. Japan is a very sexist society, right?
Oh.
Like women are not treated very well, right? And it's mostly men at the top. And men in banks are also
Dudes rule.
Yeah, and men in banks are also a different layer. Like let me give you an example. Like I met one of my clients. And you gotta do this client meetings. You gotta like play the game because you're working for you gotta entertain the clients, right?
End up what?
You gotta entertain the clients. If you wanna get business and deals, there's a lot of man kind of entertaining for clients, right?
So you gotta take them to get shit on.
You gotta take them to drink. You gotta take them to like host bars. You gotta take them to and host bars is like where the girl comes down, sits to you. There's the hostess clubs. Or in Japan, there's hostess clubs where basically men they go there. It's not like a strip club. You go there and then the girl comes and talks to you and you pay her.
To flirt with you.
Yeah, exactly. And she's like, yes, you're such a strong man. Or like, this is what Japanese people do, right? And
I like that idea.
Yeah, and you go there.
Give me some fucking respect for an hour.
Yeah,
That's all I want.
Exactly. Yeah, they talk to you, they listen to you. Yeah, it's kind of like a.
They don't tell you what chores to do.
Yeah, it's a weird. It's kind of like a therapy thing, but it's a different format for it, right?
Yeah.
So you take them and then you come there and then they pour drinks for you, that kind of stuff. Nothing sexual, nothing happens.
Yeah.
But they kind of like it's this weird, emotional kind of like brothel, where there's no touching, there's nothing, anything. But then like
do they dress hot?
Yeah, of course.
They
Yeah,
do.
they've got like everyone's wearing suits and like dresses,
Uh-huh.
and like like they have like cleavage and stuff, and it's a very weird. Like I said, it's like an emotional brothel. You know what I mean?
Oh, that's interesting.
But there's no physicality whatsoever. They sit to you, they pour stuff for you, and there's everybody's minding their stuff, and you talk to them, and they're like, "How was work?" And
damn, that's interesting. That's really cool.
I mean, that's definitely something that you don't see anywhere else. I think the hostess thing.
Yeah.
And there's also maid cafes, but that's more like a commercial thing where like the girls dress as maids, and they're like they treat you like that. Yeah. But so then we take them to these hostess clubs, and then my boss would like.
That's foreign, right?
I don't know.
This fat there?
But
here?
I think it might be from. I have no idea. Could be, but there's a lot of foreigners coming around here.
Yeah.
We just saw American fat people.
American fat. Yeah.
But basically, one of my bosses this one time took me to Kabukicho, and Kabukicho is kind of like the red light district.
Okay.
And then he told me like this is where you can if you have a tough client, you take him here. And it took me to like this very like the guy if you're because like at that time I was working with clients that were like super Japanese. They were like very senior, like 60-year-olds, 65-year-olds. I was like 25, 26, and then this is where you take them. And they took me like basically a kabuki show, not a traditional kabuki show, but more of an underground one, because basically it's kind of like a strip club because the girls get naked,
Yeah.
but there's no pole. and there's no throwing money. You know, there's no.
So what do they do? Just walk around?
So what happens is, we went to this place, and it was a very dingy place because you go downstairs and they don't have a liquor license. So if you want to drink something, you got to go upstairs to the vending machine. You got to buy something and you go down, right?
You get booze at a vending machine?
Some of them, yeah. But in this situation, they're not allowed to sell. Basically, for
Okay.
this is the thing. They don't sell alcohol at this place. So you're not allowed to bring alcohol in because
would get
it's,
rowdy.
It's disrespectful.
Yeah.
And then basically they sit you in the room, and it's kind of like a little theater. It's like doing a room at the Fringe, you know?
Yeah.
And then the girls, they come on the stage, they're dressed in different stuff, and they slowly take stuff off.
Yeah.
And then the table is basically like a rotating table. It's like a rotating top. And then the end of the performance, they get naked, and they sit on the table, spread it out, and then the thing rotates. So like they sit on the table, and they spread the legs, and you can see the...
And so you just like wait and
And
then
wait. And when they spread the legs, everybody starts clapping. Wild. And then there's a guy at the side throwing confetti. And like I was like, what the fuck?
Like, we did it. We saw that puss.
Yeah. And then like she puts another pose, and everybody's like, woo! And it's very respectful. And at the end, like 5 guys from the audience gave the performer a bouquet of flowers. Because it's a performance, right? It's like it's a nude performance, but it's a performance.
It's more like
And if you wanna do something extra, the only thing you can do extra is you can take a Polaroid with her. And they charge you like
naked?
yeah. And they charge like 1,000 yen for the Polaroid, which is like $10.
Okay.
Yeah. And
what did it when it rotates around so where you can see the puss, like they just kind of like stare into it?
they
and,
definitely
like, get
they
their look?
definitely gaze.
No touching.
No, they won't. You're not allowed to touch. There's no touching, but you just go like you go eye to eye with the pink eye, you know.
You get right in there and like
Yeah,
okay.
it's like you can't like this is the table like you don't fucking reach the barrier.
Yeah,
you know?
yeah.
You,
It's like volleyball.
Yeah, exactly. So you
Can't reach
don't
over the
go beyond it. But that was very interesting, and I never took a client there because I was like, this is
It's a risk. Maybe it's not there, but it seems like a risk. Like
Yeah,
if you're not
it's
into
like-
this, you're very upset.
Yeah, exactly. It's not. I don't think like. Yeah, I mean the thing is like my boss would be working with a lot of investment bankers,
Yeah.
and then sometimes they would be more rowdy, because like the amount of deals that they would be doing, they'd be like $500,000, like they would like a lot of money on the table,
Yeah.
So like a lot of times there's things they go the extra level, because they know like for example they know that you want the deal, so they'll milk you.
They'll
for
milk
stuff.
you. Yeah.
And then they're fucking degenerates as well, and things kind of escalate, right?
Yeah.
So then I was dealing with like a more toned down part of the bank. I was dealing with like the legal compliance part. But one of my bosses were dealing with like the front office, the traders, the fucking.
And they're like,
they're fucking
degens.
coked up out of their head. Like they're
It's like
doing
they want it.
Like it's part of the job to do coke, because you got to be on all the time. So things would escalate. So you tell me some crazy stories, but like I never went that like this is the craziest thing I saw from that direction, because like this is where I take my clients.
Yeah.
And I was like, damn man, this is fucking. But this is like
I'm out.
this is like
I'm out.
a
I'm gonna
part.
do
Of,
comedian.
but this is like a part of Japan that you will not normally see. It's like it's like what the fuck. This is wild.
I want to go to one of those too.
Yeah.
Kabuki?
Kabukicho, yeah.
Kabuki-cho?
Kabukicho, yeah.
What's cho?
I think it's just like a neighborhood
Ah, okay.
because it's the definer. But yeah, it's in Shinjuku.
It's where?
Shinjuku is one of the neighborhoods.
Ah, okay.
So like the more popular neighborhoods are like Shibuya and Shinjuku.
I've heard Shibuya.
Yeah, and then Shinjuku is like the biggest train station. It's a lot of commercial stuff,
Yeah.
and then also the red light stuff, right? Like where they do, and that's where they have like like one of my friends basically he went
Is
a
there
bit off the.
scavenger hunt going on? Sorry, I just keep seeing people stare at
I
and
think it's- I
underneath
thi-
these chairs.
Maybe there is.
I'm
Yeah,
seeing like multiple people do it.
maybe. You know what happens?
What?
I
I saw a woman doing it too.
don't think this is doing it, but
Yeah.
I think what happens is
He's looking for something
no,
specific,
I'll
right?
tell you what happens.
What?
Sometimes what happens because it's illegal to get drugs here. People get it off they get it off the dark web.
Yeah.
And one of the strategies that they used to use is there's no, you pay the guys in Bitcoin,
Yeah.
like whatever, and then they basically have a drop-off point, and the drop-off point is they tape it under a bench.
Oh, so they're trying to intercept it?
Yeah. So I think
Yeah,
this
I
is
mean,
what's happening.
Wow.
Yeah, because basically.
Because I saw a woman doing it over there. and
Yeah,
I
yeah,
was like,
so-
it just looked like she was had lost something. She's looking for a cell
Yeah,
phone.
and I
but
think basically a lot of times what happens is a foreigner comes in and they do that.
that chick's looking too over there.
Yeah, I think this is maybe they have like regular check-ins, But you know, like for example, if you're ordering, you know, Coke or if you're ordering something, they take it under the thing, and you know, and a lot. What's the easiest place to fucking find it? What's the point of reference?
Oh yeah.
So maybe it's that, maybe it's something else, but this is just it's a guess, speculation. It's a fun speculation.
It's a fun speculation. Yeah,
Yeah.
we're guessing.
Yeah.
She's looking for something for sure.
Yeah, because look, they're fucking looking at the bush, right? Like, why would they be looking at what the fuck did you?
And they're talking. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, so I think that might happen because I think they're trying to crack down on stuff. Every now and then, like, you know, the anti-narcotics or whatever. They're trying to crack down on stuff.
Okay, let's wrap this up.
Yeah.
Well, we're in the middle of a story? I forget.
Yeah, I was talking about the kabuki-cho. I kind of wrapped it up, basically.
Yeah.
It's kind of like go there and, like, you know, they're very respectful, booking out the flowers, showing you the JJ, and that kind of stuff, right?
JJ, yeah. So I got 2 questions. First of all, everybody follow him on, what do you get mostly, Instagram?
Yeah, Instagram. Dragos Comedy is where I'm at, Dragos Comedy.
Dragos.
Yeah.
And it's pronounced shh.
Dragos, yeah.
Dragos. The Dracula of stand-up.
Yeah, that's what I'm doing. Yes.
I saw a comment on a picture we posted that you're Europe's best comedian.
I mean, I'm definitely active in Europe.
It sure helped that the UK left.
Yeah.
You guys all leveled up.
I mean, bro, I'm taking advantage of that.
You left Jimmy Carr out, and you're like, oh, nice.
It's not part of European unions.
Yeah.
And I guess it's a lot more coming up now, but I guess, you know, it's a lot more difficult to do English comedy when it's your second language, and there's not a lot of stage time because people feel, you know, Berlin has the biggest stage time in Europe, you know, if you take out the UK, right?
Yeah, and they did.
So then, yeah, it's kind of growing. It's been growing on Instagram. My TikTok is like where I initially started growing.
Ireland, but they don't count somehow because they're blocked.
Yeah. But my TikTok was like the one that kind of blew up initially, and then that kind of started getting a bit. I started doing some China jokes, and now I'm fucking in the dumps.
What?
Yeah, I had a joke about like one of my friends was studying political science, and then she did a year in China. So I did a joke about like, oh, did they change your whole degree to political silence?
Yeah.
And then fucking I put that up, and then the fucking algorithm started punishing me.
No way.
Yeah, and I, you know, maybe all the other jokes, the clips I've uploaded afterwards are shit. That's also a possibility.
Oh, dude, when you see it, it's like, what?
But
because you spoke out against China. Wow,
maybe there's an algorithm. Maybe there's an algorithm there, and they're like, maybe I'm also just like you know, paranoid. But like, I don't know.
What are you on TikTok?
So same situation. Dragos Comedy. Yeah.
Damn, you can feel it. You're like, it didn't just go down 10%.
Like,
it went down 90%.
Bro, it went from 200,000 like TikToks. I was getting like 200,000 a clip, and like down to like 8,000.
Wow.
I'm like, wait a minute, this smells like shadow banning.
Yeah.
You know, this doesn't come out of the blue.
Okay, well, follow him. He's a fucking hilarious comic. He puts up great stand-up clips all the time. So this is something I ask everybody, and so there's no right answer here. But like, so you've lived in Singapore, Japan. You've been all over, especially for comedy. You've been to Moldova and all these places in Malta. Do you have any travel tips?
I mean, the best
one like that comes to mind. Doesn't have to be the best.
Yeah, let me.
What one thing like Danny Brandt was like travel light. I'm like, oh, okay.
Yeah, I mean, I if I would say like for me a big travel hack was like get a backpack with wheels.
Oh.
Like because the thing is
really?
So like you saw like I've got like a suitcase.
Yeah.
And then I got a backpack with wheels.
Because strap it and then take it.
Because the thing is like technically you got 2 suitcases, but then it doesn't fuck up your bag. It's like the problem is when I'm carrying a lot of stuff in my back. I used to have like a very heavy backpack and fuck up my back.
Yeah.
But then I found out that the suitcase, the rolling backpack, is almost as big as a suitcase. But if they ask you at the airport, it can be like, no, this is a backpack.
And then you strap it on.
Yeah, strap it on.
That's not bad.
And then basically I just fucking put it in the top or put it under the thing. Fucking shove it under the thing. But you get like
kick at it.
Yeah, you get like double the space.
You did tell me that you were happy when you were traveling that you would not get a data plan. It helps you.
Man, that was a fucking like when I started doing doing comedy full time. I just wanted to be really immersed in it, and the problem is the phone now it takes up everything. And for a year of traveling around Europe, I did like almost 70 cities, no data, and it gets you in a little bit. But the thing is, why it's so important is because you got a plan. You know? When you leave the fucking hostel hotel room, you need to have a plan.
I'm going here, so I know kind of which direction it is.
You got to download the fucking offline map on Google, and you got to have like it helps you like get a fucking structure plan. You know?
I heard you just interrupt yourself. You just like it gets you into predicaments or whatever you're gonna say.
Yeah.
But to me, like those predicaments is the joy of travel.
Yeah, it's not nothing bad happened or anything, but sometimes you're like, fuck, something.
It takes you a little longer to get somewhere.
Yeah. Like I took a wrong turn and I gotta fucking figure it out and stuff. But like the best thing is like you don't just leave the Wi-Fi area without a plan.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah. So now you gotta like.
You're moving with direction.
I gotta sit down and I gotta figure out what am I doing. You know.
Yeah.
And I'm not just gonna like. I like wandering aimlessly as well. But then like when we don't have like Google Maps working or the data or whatever stuff, you gotta have a plan.
Yeah.
And it's great.
What I'll do is I'll be a little more observant of massive landmarks. This tower is like, okay, that's center. So no matter where I am, if I can spot that tower, I know how to get back. Or really the sun. So I'm like, hey, I know at dinner it's gonna be in 4 hours.
Right,
5 hours.
right.
I want to get to the northwestern part of the city, and I'm like, all right, the sun. All right, just kind of like get that direction. So wander all over, but then that'll help you get back.
Right.
And you're just more aware. The Empire State Building's a big one.
Yeah, so that's the kind of thing. Like I think in like smaller cities, like for example, like a place like fucking Brussels.
Yeah.
It's fucking chaotic all over the place. So like, how are you gonna?
Yeah, it all looks the same too.
But yeah, it's just like very freeing not to have to look at your phone all the time.
Yeah, it really is.
Yeah, and I got data back on now because I need it for like a lot of the communications and stuff. But it was a good time. You know, you just get it's a different way of experiencing the city. It's like you're looking around, you're paying more attention.
Yeah, you're paying more attention.
You're more present in the moment. You know.
All right, buddy.
Yeah, man, thanks a lot for having me,
Bucharest.
Ari. I hope you enjoy. Yeah, let's get Bucharest and see you back again in Romania next time, Yash.
All right, yeah, for sure. Yeah, next time.
Yeah. Cool.
Guys, that's the episode. I hope you enjoyed it. God, that was fun. We had a blast, guys. There was a time. Make sure to check out Dragos wherever, or dragoscomedy.com. Check out a special, the Shenzhen special, on YouTube right now. He's a very funny comic and a Berlin comic. He's kind of leading the Berlin comedy scene, which is one of the burgeoning scenes in Europe. It's like pretty much, from what I see, Amsterdam and Berlin are like the top two scenes, and Berlin is like worldly everywhere, and then Amsterdam has like the clubs, and just the local scene is like the Amsterdamian whatever. What are they called? What is a local Amsterdamian called? A stroopwafel. The stroopwafels shows are really kicking all the time. Don't forget to see Dragos. You can get tickets at dragoscomedy.com. May 10th, New York. May 9th and 12th is sold out. May 13th, Philadelphia. Chicago, May 16th. Toronto, May 19th. The 20th is sold out. May 21st in Montreal. 7 p.m. show sold out. 9 o'clock show added. And you want to see him on Facebook and Instagram. He's got a great TikTok that recently got... Well, he shouldn't have made fun of one country that delivers us with formerly our good fentanyl and now our bad fentanyl. He made one joke about them and got hella taken down. But really good TikTok if you're on there. And that's it. Today's episode was edited by Alan Caffey. It was produced by Your Mom's House Network. Chad was the one looking at pictures and putting those in. So we were flying from Cluj to Bucharest. I will do a whole episode about Romania for sure because I learned so much. And this didn't come up in the episode because we recorded it before, but we went to the bathroom. We're like checked in to the gate, and then we went to the bathroom. Oh, you know what I'll do? I'm gonna pause this a second. Went to the bathroom and some dude smoking in there in the airport bathroom, through security, just smoking in the stall, a cigarette. That's Romania. That's Romania. And we were like, "What? Do I smell cigarette smoke?" I'm like, "Yeah, I do." Like, what? And then he was in there, just smoking. And then we like kind of looked. That's right. We looked away when he came out, like embarrassed. And the guy like saw us, he knew we were laughing at it, and he was like, "What? I gotta smoke." It was so great. Oh man, Dragos. Oh, what a good time we had. And then he left, and I stayed for another like week or so in Bucharest. Kind of did my own thing. But what an interesting country, and what a gassy food. Anyway, this episode's not about Romania. It's about Japan. I'll be back to Japan in more places than just Tokyo when Che Durena finally has a special out. And that'll be, I don't know, whenever. Probably in the next 2-3 months. So make sure to check in for that one too. Next week, the innumerable Tim Dillon, the one and only, Timmy D, come on to talk about London, and he has his own take on it, and that's exactly what I'm talking about. Way, way different than Danny Brown's grime core tales of London. Tim's is way more about the high level Illuminati. Okay, before I go on today's episode, I'd like to read you guys some postcards. I get these postcards from around the world. I haven't mentioned one in a while. Oh no, do I have them? I do. But you guys have been sending me postcards from my travels, and I love it. Vietnam! Oh, hell yes. Wow, with the Vietnamese, look, it says Nam. Man, come up here. Come up. Come here. Come here. Yo, come here. Come here. I've been inspired by your travel stories since you had on Henry Rollins on Skeptic Tank. Finally, in my mid-30s, I'm getting out there. Just spent a month in Vietnam and a week in Cambodia. Damn. Just wanted to thank you, brother. Aaron Gifford. Instagram. Well, I'm not going to tell you your Instagram. You can send these postcards to 151 First Avenue, New York, New York. Wait, 151 First Avenue, number 49, New York, New York, 10003. You got them? Look at that. Fucking Vietnamese stamps. Pretty cool. Yeah, that's the address. We got the whole thing there. Pretty fucking cool. Postcard from Vietnam. Whoop. Nice, buddy. Nobody saw me trip there. I don't think I saw those markets on the water. God, those look good. That Henry Rollins episode, dude, was so good at Skeptic Tank. I know I keep saying this, but I got to go down and take down all the old Skeptic Tanks, and I just never have. That was for me. Or Harbor, Maine. I think some of these are money that I got to put up. Gotta be, right? I mean, gotta be. All right, well, this is too fucking difficult. Should have thought this out before. I had postcard. There we go. Yep, got one. Dear Ari, I don't know. Love the show and all you do to bring a positive attitude and change of perspective to Americans. I'll take that. I do a lot to change perspective to Americans. Tell them to stop claiming Irish heritage. We don't care. Yeah, bro, great point. All these fucking whites, especially the white Irish here in America, that really are American, bitching about fucking, oh, we're on team this, we're on team that, we're on team Palestine. Dude, you live in a country that has bombed fucking 60 countries since you've been alive. Get fucked. We don't care. This is my original art. A night out in Ireland. Love, Lorna. Wow. Well, we should show the original art. Not bad. And look, check it out. We got fucking Irish stamps. Pretty cool. 151 First Avenue, number 49, New York, New York, 10003. This probably is, what is this? $50 Canadian. Some of this is probably money. I bet it is. I'm also still filling up that wall. I got a new backdrop that you'll be seeing. Not the Tim Dillon episode, but something else. Oh, we did it. We got it. We got it. Postcard. Okay. Whoa. Mangning. That's Vietnam. Vietnamese money. Another Vietnam. Hi, Ari. My husband and I love the new podcast, the only one brought to you by Traveler's Diarrhea. Not bad. That's a decent joke. Listening to your stories about Myanmar reinforced our desire to visit. So we crossed that off our list in 2018. Nice. You probably went right after me. As I write this, we are currently on the Hagyang Loop. Ooh, what the fuck is that? We look forward to seeing you in April in Vancouver. Well, you already did. Kate and Steve Perry. Keep on tripping, November 11, 2024. You Be Trippin podcast, care of Ari Shaffir, 151 First Avenue, New York, New York, 10003. And they sent me this postcard that I will hang up and some Vietnamese money that I will put on the wall over the guest's shoulder. I'm going to, ooh, wow. Wait. 2 of them, 2 bills. Wow, is that Uncle Ho? It looks like it. God, Vietnam ruled. It fucking ruled. Check it out. I got some fucking bills here. Not bad. All right, guys. Well, that's the episode. I'll be doing more of these. Let's keep these fresh. Ha Giang, Vietnam. Ha Giang, Vietnam. You know what? Hey Siri. What is Ha Giang, Vietnam? Ha Giang Loop. 4-day road trip. Oh wow, that's pretty cool. High in the north of Vietnam is a place where the road winds through the jaw-dropping canyons and breathtaking mountain passes. The Ha Giang Loop, a dream come true for adventurers, travelers craving the open road. Wow, so it's not a hike, it's a drive. Pack your gear, charge your batteries, and prepare for an adventure. The 4-day route follows. It's a 4-day road trip on a damn. This is what I want to do with Paul Morrissey when we went for fucking motorcycles and got up there. The Vietnamese border. Damn. Oh, I got to get to this. Ha Giang Loop. Thank you, guys. Fucking Kate and Steve Perry. Good note. I got to get there. I'm going to add it to my list. The Ha Giang Loop. Fucking road trip by yourself. Kind of like the, in Australia. Adelaide. Great Ocean Road. Guys, that's the episode. Please subscribe wherever you're watching or listening. Go get yourself some merch from my merch store. And I'll see you next week with Tim Dillon. Oh, mulțumesc for tuning in. No, wait, we did Japan. We did it from Romania. We did Japan. Don't you love these on location? They're cool, right? They're legitimately cool. You can get yourself there. You couldn't do it in the town square because of the rain. And you got to like face the sun the way I'm doing now, and you're going to go blind. But man, anyway, yeah, mulțumesc. Goodbye.